Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our session on Jordan. My name is Michael. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am one of the reps here for Exotic Journeys. Thank you for joining us for our series of seminars focusing on exotic journeys, destinations, and our partners, and of course, in celebrating our milestone 45th anniversary with us this year. And so with that, I'm very happy to introduce some of our special guests today. First, from our Exotic Journeys team, we have our director, Christine. Hello, Christine.
Hi, welcome everyone.
And we also have one of our assistant product managers, Holly. Hello, Holly.
Hi, Michael. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for being here. So I'm going to pass it over to you now, Holly, and you can introduce our special speakers for the session.
Yes, yeah. Today, joining us from Jordan, we have Issam Suisse, who's the Director of Incoming in the Leisure Department at Karma House, and he will be handling this presentation for us today. And also joining us is Natalia Yena, who's the Sales Manager at Karma House. So they will be ready after the presentation as well to answer any questions that we might have. So I'm going to hand it over to Issam now, and he will take it away.
Thank you, Holly. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jordan. I'm so happy to be here with you on this virtual presentation. I'm going to give you a brief information about Jordan as a destination that you may suggest and consider for your clients. Jordan is a small country in the Middle East. I think it's less than 1/10 of the size of Ontario. But the diversity is really interesting because, for instance, today it's the weather is cold. It's 8 degrees, which is much colder than usual. But if you go to some areas like in Dead Sea and Aqaba, it will be something around 15, 16 degrees. So imagine that during the spring and the autumn, during winter time, this is a winter destination to consider. Jordan, it's an exotic destination because it's not a mass market. This is not like you have millions of tourists. This is for clients that are interested in history, in culture. We have so many themes to offer for Jordan. Recently, there was a concentration on the adventure, eco, nature. And of course, now we are heading for the theme of sustainable tourism. We've been actively promoting it for the last few years, trying to engage the local communities to have a bigger scope that Jordanians can benefit from the tourism in Jordan. To give you a small brief about Jordan, it's part of the Middle East. We are in a neighborhood that it's known for some turbulences during the past years, but Jordan being the safe haven all the time. Because of the proximity to some of the famous destinations like the Holy Land, Israel, Egypt, Turkey, Dubai, everything within 1 to 3 hours flight time. Even now, some agents, they sell Jordan as a destination for after Europe because, you know, the farthest country in Europe is something like 5-hour flight from Jordan. So we have seen this Greece and Jordan, Italy and Jordan, and of course with the air accessibility, it's doable. The main themes of trips to Jordan, especially these days, it's the family trips. After COVID-19 era and the changes that happen in the world, I think more and more people, they prefer to travel with familiar faces, with the people they know. So mostly it's individual travels for a couple of members of a family or small groups, but all within the same family. And on the 1st of March, because Jordan government has released new regulations that makes it possible for everyone to travel. I know now anyone wants to travel around the world, the first question, how many PCR tests I need to do? And I'm glad to share with you that starting 1st of March, Jordan doesn't require any PCR to visit. You don't need it 72 hours before arrival, and you don't need to do it on arrival. What you need to do is just on a register on a platform to get the QR code and enter to Jordan. Any PCR done in Jordan is mainly if it's a regulation for you when you go home, nothing else. And that, of course, makes Jordan one of the destinations favorable now for so many clients. And we have seen the movement starting March, because most of the clients, they think, okay, I need to do a PCR. And unfortunately, if it's a positive, do I need to quarantine and all that stuff? We finished with all that headache in Jordan. And I know all travelers, they think about this as a first, factor when you want to choose a destination to travel. Now let's talk about the Jordan, the sites, what we can offer. Of course, the classical trips, historical trips, this is can happen everywhere, but we more and more try to include more of the local experiences, engaging with the local communities, visiting, local places, go off the beaten track. And of course, the Jordanian cuisine is quite famous. We are part of the Levant countries, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Palestine, and Iraq. We have famous dishes, and we love to eat. So I think you'll enjoy food here in Jordan. Culinary trips as well are quite famous. We have some few places around Jordan. They do the cooking classes. That makes it interesting for people to join. Amman, mainly the nightlife time is in Amman, with so many restaurants and bars. When you go to other places like in the north and the south, the mainly done as a day trips. Overnights usually offer in the south in Petra, Wadi Rum, and Aqaba, because of the drive time. Although Jordan is not a big country, but when you drive something around 3 hours going south from Amman, the center, the capital, to go to Petra, or 4 hours to go to Wadi Rum, sleeping accommodations available in Petra, although it's still until now limited, but there are plans to open more hotels in Petra because of the huge demand. Of course, Petra is the highlight of any Jordan trip. In Wadi Rum now we have so many new camps. They're offering like 5-star services in a camp in the desert, so that combine the Bedouin experiences with some modern services as well. Of course, there are some unique experiences like the helicopter rides now that started in Amman, and recently they are introducing this flyover Wadi Rum and Petra. So you can see the sites from from the sky. These are one of the services that are being offered recently to Jordan. This is the map of Jordan, showing the major touristic sites here. Amman is the capital. You can see it in the upper side, where the international airport is located. We have a domestic airport in Aqaba, but still serve some flights like EasyJet flying from London, and some of the like Ryanair or with the low-cost carriers, they fly directly to Aqaba, especially during winter. You remember I said that Aqaba is a winter destination and warmer by minimum 7 to 8 degrees than Amman. So it's quite famous, even for European and Scandinavians when they want to come from October to April due to the weather. Because imagine in November and December, you still can swim in the Red Sea, or when you go to the Dead Sea as well. Now, of course, Jordan is shared with long borders with Israel. This is why the combined trips Jordan and Israel quite famous. If you check the map here, you see in the north, there's the crossing, what's called Sheikh Hussein. It's just close to Pella. The second one, which is the Allenby Bridge or King Hussein Bridge, that connects Amman with Jerusalem. Jerusalem is actually less than 1 hour drive from Allenby Bridge, and Amman is 1 hour away. So land crossing, this is quite famous. And there is a third crossing border in Aqaba, linking the city of Aqaba with Eilat. Now Israel also easing the regulations, entry regulations. We are seeing more influx for both countries because long haul clients always prefer to visit 2 or 3 countries. So adding Israel with Jordan, and also you can consider Egypt because Cairo is just only 1 hour flight from Amman. Now we are talking about some of the places that you'll see in Jordan. The top left corner, this is the new airport in Amman. Here we have the meet and assist. Usually our representative, they meet the clients at the immigration area. So your clients, they won't be afraid how to get a visa, what the procedure to do, where to go. We meet you immediately after you disembark, and before you reach the visa desk, we meet you, arrange the visa for you. Usually it's free of charge, of stay minimum 2 nights in Jordan, and we have your passport information. So from there, we do the whole thing. After the passport stamping, go to collect the luggage, and then outside the arrival hall, you can just meet your driver or tour guide if you have one in the tour, and proceed with the Jordan trip. Usually the procedure at the airport takes less than 30 minutes. Especially now after we remove the PCR test on arrival, it makes it much quicker. These are some photos on the top right corner for the airport from inside. And we have some photos for the borders, the land borders. The one in the bottom that linking Eilat with Aqaba. Of course, since the international airport is in Amman, usually the first night stay, usually in Amman, we have hotels from 5-star premium to 1 or 2-star hotels. We have boutique hotels as well, so we can accommodate clients all kind of budgets. Amman is famous, of course, for the all local produced items. Jordan is famous for fruits and vegetables items, food. Here are some sweets. This is actually the first experience here that you'll enjoy going to downtown, visit the old parts of the capital city, have local snack and some sweets, walk around the downtown area, know about the Amman and know its people and its culture. This is a photo, like for example, for a cooking class in a place overlooking the citadel, which is in Amman and in the old part of the city. Now, the second most important site in Jordan is actually Jerash, the Roman city, because it's one of the most preserved Roman city. It's 1 hour away from Amman. Of course, the top highlight in Jordan is Petra. But Jerash, you don't want to miss it if you plan to come to Jordan. These are some photos for the site of Jerash. Previous days before the COVID, we have a gladiator show, like a regular show in Jerash. representing, the chariots and the Roman army. But these days it's on private request and mainly for groups. We hope that the show, because it was really interesting, to have it back on a regular basis. We have Ajloun, which is also on the north and a 30-minute drive from Jarash. So usually if you want to combine two sites on one day, Jarash and Ajloun could be the one. Ajloun is quite famous for its a fort overlooking the Jordan Valley. These are some sites from Ajloun Castle. The sites in the north, mainly it's Jarash, Ajloun, quite famous, and of course there's Qais in the top north, overlooking Tiberias Lake and very close to the Israeli and Syrian borders. Now, after we finish from Amman, most of the sites are you have to head south, starting with Madaba. It's known being the mosaic city because there are so many sites in Madaba with the mosaic flooring. The most famous one is the St. George Church. They have a mosaic flooring showing the old map of the Holy Land area. 15 minutes away from Madaba, there is Mount Nebo. It's the mountaintop hill where the Prophet Moses shown the promised land. So this is also part of the biblical tours mentioned in the Bible. Usually Madaba and Mount Nebo is a major part of these tours. This is some photo for St. George Church from inside and from Mount Nebo. Now, the places on the way to Petra, usually you can break the 3-hour drive with the stops on the way, like Madaba Nebo we just talked about. Some other places like Omar Rasas, which is a UNESCO heritage site and also famous for a mosaic flooring in the San Stefanos Church. Mukawar, it's the also part of the biblical tours themes because it's the place where the beheading of John the Baptist. Karak, famous for a Crusader castle, and Shobak is another example of a Crusader castle that it's on the way to Petra. These are some photos for these castles. This is actually from, this is the top isle, which is Mukharis, which is Mukawar. Mukharis is the name as per the Bible. Not far away from Mukharis, there's the Ma'in Hot Springs. This is another option. Ma'in Hot Springs is part of like a wellness theme. We will talk about it when we talk about the Dead Sea at the end of this presentation. Now we'll pass the Dead Sea because we will talk about how you form a program, how from where to start and where to end as an ideal trip to Jordan. Petra, as we said, it's the main site and the highlight of Jordan. Of course, it's a must-see. No trip to Jordan can happen without including Petra. As we said, Petra mainly has few 4- and 5-star hotels. So, and with the demand in the high and peak season quite high. So it's always recommended when you want to arrange a trip to Jordan to book it ahead of time because availability in Petra could be an issue in the high and peak season, which is spring and autumn, mainly March to May and September to November. Of course, you can see from the background actually behind me and the sites of Petra. It's a very fantastic experience when you come and visit a whole city carved into rocks. This is the famous treasury, of course, and now Petra requires some fitness, but the Petra Authority recently replaced the horse carriages for people with movement challenges with the electric cars, because this is a UNESCO site and they try to reduce the pollution to the max. The electric cars can hire it from the Petra main entrance to the treasury, which is around 1.5 kilometers and cover part of the city. Hopefully later on the electric cars will manage to reach furthest in the site, because you know it's still a rough terrain inside the site. The Colony Street heading to a Basin restaurant area, it's still tough for electric cars. So for durability issues, they usually stop at the treasury. So people cannot walk. They still manage to see part of Petra, but unfortunately not all of it. On the top of Petra, there's 800 stairs. Actually, you can reach the monastery. There is an option for hikers to come and visit the monastery from the backside, a hike from Little Petra area. It's an area that it's 30 minutes away from Petra site. You can hike all the way to the monastery, then go down the stairs and visit Petra in reverse. So Petra is, you know, any hiking trip, Petra can be considered the visit day as a hiking day as well. Wadi Rum, this is the amazing Moon Valley, and many of the new movies and old movies, they've been shot in Wadi Rum because of the amazing landscape. The Bedouin experiences there, as I said, there's recently the camps there, they offer 5-star rooms with 5-star services. You still, if you want the authentic thing with the shared camps, of course you can have that. But at the same time, if you look for luxury in the desert, this is doable. In Wadi Rum, you can do the desert trekking, the camel ride, the jeep safaris, and now we have one hot air balloon, but we have now, there's the news that we'll have much more by the end of this year. So everyone can have the chance to have the balloon ride over Wadi Rum. These are some of the photos for the Wadi Rum desert. And you can see that why so many people, especially directors, they choose it whenever they want. The Martian, one of them, you can see that the place looks like one of these planets. From the famous experiences as well you do in Wadi Rum is the stargazing, because it's an area away from the light pollution. If you go inside the desert at night time, it's an amazing experience to do at night. These are the photos for the hot air balloon, gliding, the activities that you can do in Wadi Rum. 1 hour away from Wadi Rum, you can reach the Aqaba. It's the only port in Jordan on the Red Sea, and the top south, actually Jordan. After that, when you cross from there, you go to Saudi Arabia on the right, or you go to Sinai, belongs to Egypt, or cross the land border to Eilat. So this is like a crossing point to other countries. And Aqaba, it's mainly water activities. Now there are some interesting places for diving activities as well. All the water activities you can do in Aqaba, and quite plenty of new 5-star hotels are opening in Aqaba. So it's becoming a destination now, especially that there are so many airlines, they are considering Aqaba for landing, especially in winter time. And at the same time, because some people, they do some short version of Jordan trip, and they want mainly to visit the what we call the Golden Triangle, which is Petra, Wadi Rum, and Aqaba. So when you are in Aqaba, it's 1 hour away to Wadi Rum or 2 hour away to Petra. So you can cover all these 3 places. Like for instance, Turkish Airlines, they fly to Aqaba. So when that happens, sometimes we recommend that you fly to Amman, finish everything in the north, then head south, and then you can depart from Aqaba without, going back to the Amman to fly out from there. These are the picture of activities in Aqaba, the underwater world. Now we are heading now to talk about the adventure theme trips because Jordan has so many nature reserves around Jordan. We have Ajloon, Azraq, Shomari, Mujib, Dana, and Finan. Any nature lovers or hikers, regardless soft adventure or hard adventure, these places they offer quite an interesting experiences for people who want an active type of a trip. Of course, most of these reserve they offer the hiking trips. Some of these places are also good for bird watching if you are interested in that, but recommended mainly for the migration season in March, April, or September, October. This is the time for migration birds in Jordan. Now, mainly I want to talk about the programs, how to arrange. Usually, since the Amman has the international airport, your first couple of nights usually in Amman. It's always recommended then to drive south, and you can break the drive with the stops on the way. Wadi Rum is always included as a day trip, or if you want to have it an overnight in one of the camps, then you can continue to Aqaba, depends on the duration of your trip, but always recommend to finish in the Dead Sea, whereas those luxurious resorts to unwind and relax before you go home. It's a vacation after all, and you need to relax at the end of the trip. And Dead Sea is the most interesting place to finish any vacation because of the the high oxygen, the salty water, and the mud that it's great for the skin. So it's quite an interesting place to finish any trip to Jordan. This is just only a small brief. Of course, there is a lot to talk about Jordan, the kind of themes that we can offer for Jordan.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Isam and Natalia, for all this great information. It's clearly Jordan's a great destination. It has so much culture and history to offer. So I mean, it really appeals to almost any type of client for sure. Well, thank you again for joining us. It was great information. All of our viewers, thank you for signing in. We hope you found it very informative. Please make sure you check out exotictours.com to register for our future sessions over the next couple of weeks. Thank you again. Have a great day, everybody.